Oh, wow. Hey. Hey, Michael.
Hey, it's Val the Voice Johnson. So this must be Wednesday.
No, it's not Wednesday.
Is it Monday?
The beginning of the work week? Absolutely not.
So today is Tuesday. So this must be Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesday with Val the Voice Johnson. Are
Let's
we ready?
go. Oh my gosh. Hey, we're here.
We are here.
Oh
Hey,
my gosh. I'm
hey, good
loving this. I'm loving
evening.
this. Oh my gosh. So our moderator today is Darren. How you doing? Welcome.
Hello,
Oh, another
welcome.
friend of mine, Belinda. Great to see you. Good evening. How are you? And then CMB. What's up? He's got a funny situation. He has like a lion with glasses in the background. And every time I see it, it's hilarious. Hey T. What's up, girl? How y'all doing? Saying hello in the chat already. That's wonderful.
Already. Already. Good evening, Mr. Thomas. Good evening,
Yeah,
Val.
he's doing well. That's good. Let us know how you're doing in the chat because we're always happy to talk with everyone. It's the Talk on Tuesdays, and this episode of Talk on Tuesdays is brought to you by our Interludes, a Pure Lighthouse production YouTube channel. We thank you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to put it up here. We're so happy. Welcome to Talk on Tuesdays. It's an extra, a bonus. We want to thank, we have over 125 subscribers. Yay! Thank you guys. Woo!
Woo,
So
woo.
the fun thing is that we're just asking you guys to share with one or two of your good friends. Do what you got to do, and hey,
Share
let
life.
somebody know. Share the love, and go ahead and hit the like.
Uh,
Smash the like. What do you say?
smash, smash, smash like.
Smash the like. And right now, I want to make sure that I have this correct because a fun thing that I'm looking at. Hi, Deborah. Good to see you. And
Yeah.
then I see Wanda. She is watching on LinkedIn. So we are streaming to our
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, our private Facebook group. How are you guys doing over there? And also, I want to make sure that I say this and excited. We are also streaming on the International Broadcast Media Network. They are going to Roku March 1st, and we're being shown in over 200, we're being shown in 200 countries in all 50 states.
Wow.
Drum roll. Oh my gosh, Darren, thank you so much. He's saying smash. That's always
Smash,
fun.
smash, smash.
Hey, Wanda, good to see you. Oh my goodness.
200 countries.
200 countries. I literally talked with him earlier just to find out and he was like, "Yeah, that's where we're at." And T is congratulating us.
Hey,
We appreciate it. T.
Val, can you name them all?
Um I can name 10. How
You can
about
name
you?
10 countries. Go ahead. No, you go. You go. You go, girl.
Thank you, Wanda. She's like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Woo.
That's all fun. I'm gonna say the UK, South
UK,
America,
South
the Netherlands,
America,
the
Netherlands.
Philippines. Yeah, the Philippines. I know about that.
Right.
I'm going to say France,
Mm-hmm.
um, Germany. uh,
Germany.
Germany, that's a good one. I'm
Yeah,
going
that's
to
a good one.
say Japan. Not Japan's a city, so I'm gonna say
But Japan's a country.
no, it's a country. Japan's a
It got
country. Okay.
upgraded. It got upgraded. Beyonce upgraded it. She upgraded Japan to a country, and she upgraded Rihanna's belly. So
Oh, good gracious. We're gonna go
did
with
you see that?
Canada. I didn't see that. I definitely did not see that. I totally missed that.
Woo!
I'm
She
gonna
got a
say
bump.
I know I'm gonna say Canada, and then
Canada.
Trinidad, Jamaica,
Oh, Trinidad.
and the
I love
10th one
Trinidad.
would be St. Lucia.
Oh, I love St. Lucia too. Those are two places I want to be adopted. I want to be adopted by Trinidad and St. Lucia.
I know.
I love the islands. I love Irie. Love the islands, man.
Irie. Oh, thank you, Bryce Sounds. He's
Islands.
congratulating us. Oh, and Darren is saying Croatia.
Ooh, Croatia. Ooh, cool. I love Croats. This is beautiful. From all the pictures I've seen, no, very beautiful. The bridges and
Hmm.
the rivers and the waters. You know, in Europe, that's where people go vacation in Croatia. It's
Oh,
just on this side of the pond, we don't
we
know
don't
of it, or we too busy rocking Dubai, right,
e-
Val?
exactly.
Like
Oh, and
every third black person has just come back from Dubai. I haven't been yet. I'd love to
yeah,
go, but love it. Dubai, gotta go to Dubai. All right,
I've never been to Dubai, so
it's hot.
that would be phenomenal if I could get over to Dubai. That's amazing. And then also I want to say hello to Tony Williams who's watching us over in the Facebook group, and then of course Wanda who's over in LinkedIn. So thank you guys so much. We love the appreciation. Uh,
And if there are any viewers there watching us in China, uh, Xingying Ha,
well, it is. We want to
Xingying Ha,
say Happy Chinese New Year. It starts on
Lunar New
February
Year,
1st.
Lunar
Lunar.
New Year. So
Hmm.
not just Chinese, it's throughout all of the countries and places that use the lunar calendar.
Hmm.
This is the year of the year of the tiger,
Ah.
and
Ah.
this is the eye of the tiger. This is the thrill of the fight, roar. Yes, it is the
Rising
year
up.
of the tiger.
I like that. I like that. And just and
Yeah,
happy
good.
and happy Chinese New Year. So
Yeah, we're
there we
leaving the
go.
ox behind. We're leaving the ox behind. The ox gave us delicious soup, at least from his tail, and now we're gonna go with the tiger. And I know the Cincinnati Bengals. They hope that it's the year of the tiger.
Uh-oh,
Uh,
why?
they go into the Super Bowl. One of the two teams that made it out of this past weekend with the Super Bowl is the Cincinnati
Ah.
Bengals, the Bengal Tiger. See,
Yes, Bengal
my
tiger.
God,
That
see
makes
how I
sense.
connected it? It
I
was
see. I
a
see.
segue
You made a wonderful segue. Oh my gosh. And
without having to get on the segue.
what what did you think about who is going to be playing in the Super Bowl now? We have our two teams. What do you think?
Totally unimpressed. Just
Wow.
have no real, just lacking all interest now. Just going to be there for the halftime show. Want to see Dre and Snoop and Mary
Mhm.
J and Kendrick and Eminem rock the halftime show. That's it. Pretty much don't care right now. Maybe in the next week or so they'll figure out a way to make. And I love football, but I guess the week before it was such a high that this week was kind of anticlimactic. And one of the
Mhm.
stories that we'll get to tonight is will tell you why I have a kind of a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to the NFL once again.
Well,
You just try and try and try, and you just hope that well, maybe they learned from something. Maybe they'll get better, and they just so disappointing.
well,
Yeah,
what I want. Oh, and this is funny. Belinda says that the halftime show is going to be dope.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I.
Absolutely. It should be one of the better ones. I enjoyed the one last year. I am a big fan of The Weekend, and The
Mhm.
Weekend had the halftime show last year, and I thought he did an excellent job.
Yeah.
But I know that this year will certainly top it. The fact that they're in LA and you have pretty much the kings of California headlining the show, and Drake and Snoop.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
know.
yeah,
But
Drake.
speaking of someone headlining wonderful shows, and I'm just gonna do a wonky transition. Did you check out the Janet Jackson documentary? I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes. So So Janet Jackson, Janet, Miss Jackson. I'll call her Miss Jackson because I am nasty. Um, Miss Jackson, Miss Jackson was quite tight-lipped and
Hmm.
very guarded. For somebody that's coming out to say like, I'm gonna tell you what's going on, she said very little, if anything at all. And I was among the many fans, still very loyal, very loving Janet Jackson fans, were quite
Yeah.
disappointed with this documentary. And I just couldn't understand what it was that she was doing. What was the point of it? And really, Val, without the footage, if it did not,
Hmm.
if this hadn't had the footage from her ex husband, who constantly, I guess, filmed everything during their marriage, which leads me to another movie coming out with Tommy Lee. And anyway, but I can only imagine some of the other footage that might be out there. But he filmed apparently everything during their marriage. Um, Without that footage in this documentary is completely flat, unlike Janet. So
Hmm.
I don't understand it. I didn't understand it. I was watching it, kept hoping for it to get better. Maybe thought I had too high a standard coming in. I mean, look at her. Look at that queen. Look at that.
Ah, it's a beautiful
Beautiful.
queen.
That's a beautiful. But you know what? She's not doing on that magazine cover. She's not
What?
saying anything, which is the same thing she did in her documentary. She didn't say anything.
So as
So
you could,
what was your
as you
reaction, man? What did you think of what was on A&E/Lifetime this past weekend?
well, what I am gonna say is that I'm a huge fan of Janet. In fact, the name Interludes comes from her iconic album Rhythm Nation 1814, which was released in 89. I I was thinking I'm not learning anything new. There were a few things that I learned, but it lets me know that when you are someone who as is famous as a Janet Jackson, there are things that you're going to protect just to keep the peace. I have no clue. If we
Hello.
notice, there was only out of the now 8 siblings that are still alive, and that would be 7, not including Janet. Of those
Mm-hmm.
7 siblings, only 4 really participated. Rebe, Tito, and Randy. I'm sorry, that's only 3.
That's three.
Yeah, that's only 3.
I
Yeah,
can do
I'm sorry.
math.
I can do math. I was counting Janet too, but no, we take Janet away. And yeah, so Tito spoke to some things, Rebe spoke to some things, and then Randy also executive produced this documentary right alongside
Her
of
mama
Janet.
stood there and
Okay, that's the fourth person, her
she
mom.
pretended to ask a question to her mom, and her mom pretended not to answer. So there's your fourth, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I think honestly, and I noticed this because this was the latest that came out in the news was that her and the current man that she's married to, that's no
Whose
longer.
name is never spoken in the documentary.
And to me, it
Never
says
spoken.
you have signed an NDA, and if you want to keep
Mm.
your baby, you will keep your name, my name, out your mouth. That's what I know. That's NDA is powerful. If you're an attorney, it's a powerful thing. NDA is a powerful thing.
Wow. Keep it out of Janet's mouth, huh?
Keep it out of your mouth. And
Yeah.
I think what she did was I did not know that her, and keep in mind, all of us, like everyone else, the world found out that she was married to Renee. He was not just her partner and boyfriend. But yeah, that footage was very revealing to me. I wanted more. But then when it came to when she spoke up about, how things kind of backed up, I kind of wanted her to go in a little bit further to say no,
Absolutely.
to talk more about kind of the evasiveness. Like I when I'm with you, I want to get away from everyone. I don't want to have cameras and things, and I don't care, what are you documenting this for? Why are you trying to tell this? What story are you trying to
But
tell?
she did want him to do it.
And my thing is, she got aggravated with it because unfortunately he did not know how to put the camera down. In fact, some of the dancers like gave him the finger as when he would film them, like, will you stop filming? It was kind of that silent body language. But I will say this, Janet did, she's an actress. I think people forget she's an actress. So she did a lot of acting. And she taught her Reby to do the same thing. When it came up about the secret child, Reby was looking around and
Wait, the
looking
non-denial
pensive.
denial.
Yes, like, and then
Let me
Janet was
deny it
looking
without
pensive.
denying it. What was that? What
Yeah,
was
just kind
that?
of
How you gonna deny
it,
something without denying it? Well, if you think I would do something like that, yes, yes, girl, I thought you did something like that. Absolutely. That's why we're here. I thought that's why we were here. I mean, I thought
we
everybody understood why we were here, right? I want to know if the things that I've been reading on the National Intruder, the National Enquirer,
Inquirer.
the Star magazine is true or not. Is that your baby? Did you have a secret baby that Reby raised while you continue to have your career and make the money to take care of this secret baby? So you gonna not deny it? No, no,
So
no. For
here's the
4 hours,
thing. What was that?
you gonna spend 4 hours denying not denying it? Come on.
Well, keep in mind that she only gave it a good 10 minutes and it was at the top of the hour. And then she moved on. And then I was thinking, okay, so the babe, let's just say the baby that people are saying is there, who is 34, 35, if we do the math,
Hmm.
that the what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
The
You talk
babe
about the baby that looks just like her. What are you saying about the baby that looks just like her?
But my thing is that okay, so maybe the baby isn't James DeBarge because my thing what was her claim was, how
I
could I
can't keep.
hide a
I can't have
kid
a
from
baby with
James? But
dreams.
what was, yeah,
It
how could
don't
she
mean
hide a
it's
kid
your
from,
baby, right?
no, it didn't have to be James's kid because it looks,
Hello.
according to what she revealed in the documentary, unfortunately, he was leaving her long periods of time. She was
Hey,
working
hey,
on the
hey.
show Fame. He was late. It was really horrible. Oh, Mark is saying he has a Reby story for us. Okay.
I want to know because this sounds like it'd be better than the documentary I spent 4 hours watching.
Okay, so she came and performed at the, okay, I don't know what that is, a decade ago, and there was a super fan. Okay, Gadget Trish is okay, I don't know who that is. All right. But my thing is that this has been denied and she did it and she kept it moving. Now the
But it
other big
wasn't. But it
but the
wasn't
other big
denied. It
okay, but
wasn't denied. Oh,
it wasn't denied, but she did not, she, to me, not saying anything about it directly or just kind of like indirectly says,
um,
I'm not going to talk about this
do I have a documentary?
because I'm going to talk about Renee and all of the
I don't
voyeuristic
care. Who
video.
cares? You were married to some dude that like he held your breast on the cover of Rolling Stone. Everybody saw that. I've long known that was his hands. We've all been envious of his hands and Justin's hands. Look, I didn't need to know that. What I needed to know is that your baby.
Mhm.
I want to know is that we on Lifetime. Come on. Next week
Yeah.
they kept promoting the movie with the single black female and I'm like that looks good. That looks better than the Janet Jackson documentary. Because I thought those girls were the same girl, didn't you? They two different
I
women.
did. They definitely looks very
They look
similar.
just
So
the same.
I didn't really understand it. But my thing is
Woo! That's
that
somebody. Like that girl looks
I
like
will
a
say
female.
this.
Famous
I
dinner.
will I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely signed some NDAs.
You sure?
Things she
That's
could,
what you think happened?
I know that's what happened.
But how
And
you
in fact,
don't make a documentary? Don't make a document if you're signing NDAs. Don't make a documentary, right? Why make a documentary? Why? Because the only people that I know that she possibly upset is her fans. So why would you do that?
Well, my thing is, I think she wanted to make the documentary to talk more about Michael and how some
Yes,
things.
yes, I am.
Yeah.
Are we
Uh-oh.
gonna say
So
he had other male company even when she's been? Look, the
that
way
could
that
have
she
happened.
described, with the way that she described that relationship or lack of a relationship with
Mhm.
James, I wouldn't have blamed her. Okay,
He
it seemed
left her
like
at
she was
hours at a
young.
time, and that was really
She was
bad.
she was gone. Now Halle Berry story, I would watch. I'd watch that right now. I'd sit and watch her with what's the guy Van Hunt and the two of them on the couch talking. I'd watch that. That's two
Well,
hours.
yeah, and he's a great musician. I
Oh
actually have
God,
his
yes.
first couple of CDs. I'm a fan of Van Hunt. I really like him. But
Smash
yeah,
it,
so
smash,
smash it. So
like it.
so my thing is, ultimately the verdict is we didn't learn anything too much more, what we already knew.
I got one
Because I
last
think me.
complaint. Can I get my one last complaint in on it? And this
Yeah.
has nothing to do with her salacious or lack of salacious life. Okay,
Okay.
this has to do with the way that whoever put that thing together, okay, they were in need of Val the Voice Johnson to like structure that story and edit that stuff. Here's my real point that has nothing to do with juicy stories or the Janet or the Jackson scandals or anything like that. How little amount of time did they and could they have spent on Control? Control is the album that made her. It
Hmm.
defined who she was. She left her father. When I was 17, I did what people told me.
It was in the
Did what
lyrics.
my father said and left my mother moaning.
Oh, you
That
singing
was
it? All
long
right.
ago. I'm in control. She declared herself her independence with Control. Did we get 10 seconds on Control or was it 20 whole seconds on it? It was
Wait a
like
minute.
that.
Darren
It
is
was
agreeing
kind of
with you.
like
He's
that.
like, yes. He's
And
agreeing
then get
with
it up against the end of an episode, a break where there was nothing on it. Control Val, you and I could do what Spike Lee did with Michael Jackson's Off the Wall and make a
you. Mhm.
documentary only on Control, just on the impact that Control had in African American culture. Now we can do the same darn thing to Rhythm Nation 1814, right?
I love
Just
that. I
just
love it.
solely
Just
those two
those
things.
two albums. Yeah.
Just that,
Just
just those two albums. And she
just those
spent
two albums.
all of, was it 3 minutes on them? She spent more time.
She spent 5. No, she
No,
spent
no,
5 minutes. And Darren says that
because
the.
she spent most of that time talking about the Rolling Stone cover, and that's not talking about the music. I mean, the time that she spent talking about the music, the incredible music videos that she did that redefined MTV and set a blueprint for everybody that came after her, from Paula Abdul to
Mhm.
Britney Spears to Christina Aguilera to NSYNC. That all of those pop groups all wanted to what? Make a Janet Jackson
emulate
video. They
emulate
wanted
Janet
to
Jackson
have a Janet Jackson video,
and
and there was
and
no time spent on that.
right.
But
So
yourself,
I'll. Yes,
absolutely.
so that was Darren. Darren says that was the best one, and then T. Let me look for T's. She says that family is good at keeping secrets, even better at evading those juicy questions.
It helps when you
And
produce your own story. When you pay the guy that's making your documentary to ask or not ask you questions.
yeah, so it's really interesting. And the one thing that I will say is that um I did not know that she got a bad body image as early as being on Good Times. That was new
Yeah,
to me. That
yeah,
was new to me. And they said she was developing at a young age. So they were like, you have to, we have to tape you up and everything. And she started to have a bad body image. This beautiful, beautiful girl
absolutely.
growing up before our
Woo!
eyes. We love Penny. We didn't like when Chip heard Kim Field's mom would take the iron and get Penny. We didn't want that. We
Oh, I
love
can't
when she
separate it. I can't separate. When I still see her mom, that's what I think. When I would
ah,
see her, I'd see her
when
with
you see
Kim, and
Chip
I was
Heard,
like, that mother, that woman. Ooh, ooh, I'm coming for you.
she corrected her image in my mind when she's portrayed her actual daughter's mom on Living Single. Chip Heard played
Good for
Kim
you.
Field's
Didn't work for
mom.
me. I
It
remember.
worked for me. It
Petra's
worked for
Farm
me.
remembers. Petra's Farm remembers.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can't
But
do that. Mm-mm.
yeah, and then I
Not
didn't
cool.
know that I did another thing is I did not know she lost or I forgot she lost the Coca-Cola deal that she was going to get touring because
That
of the
was
allegations that came out with Michael.
okay.
I
That
forgot.
was like that was interesting. That was interesting.
Okay.
But here, by comparison, they spent more time on that than they spent talking about those first two. Those first two. Let me stipulate those first two A&M albums.
Mhm.
Those A
And
and M albums produced by Jam and Lewis.
mhm.
How
And
could you?
keep and the keep in mind that that was by the time Janet was turning the corner and joining um Version, she had already done a total of 4 albums with A&M. And
Right,
you
the
know her
Jam and
her
Lewis A&M. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so they things the contract was up and she had produced all this great music and she ended up, going to a different label. But ultimately, if you one thing I will say, I have never heard about her having issues with her of owning or having her masters. Never heard of that issue. And ultimately, she wants to be able to raise the child that she has that she's claiming. And I noticed that her young son, who is now 4 or 5 years old, was never shown on screen because that NDA was signed, sealed, and delivered. You keep my name out your mouth. I'm the baby daddy. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep the baby off screen, and you will continue to
Right.
be
Good.
the mother.
Speaking of Dubai again, right?
You will
Not
continue to be
mention
the.
Chic so and so. Okay. All right.
Please don't mention me. Don't mention how. Don't mention any of that.
Don't
So
mention how
just
rich
yeah,
I am and all the oil
no.
fields. I don't. Now don't mention none
Keep
of that.
keep all of that out your mouth. I don't want to. No, whatever your truth is. And oh, another thing, I was so happy to see Jermaine Dupri on, and just kind of hearing about their relationship. And of course, I guess they ended on good terms because he was able to be interviewed for the documentary. And I was thinking, okay, well, this is interesting. I thought they were mismatched, but that's just me. I didn't know. And also, here it is. This is T. I believe that most of Janet's relationships, especially this last one, was a business deal. Yes, it was. T, it was. Yes. NDA.
Well,
NDA.
it still seems like, well, you know what? Even if, okay, just to speak to what T is saying, even when it wasn't explicitly that,
Hmm.
implicitly it was, and I gotta say that Janet is culpable in that. I think
Okay.
that part of the reason she was attracted to Renee is because of what Renee could do for her. And so
Right.
Renee filming her all the time, giving her direction in the videos, allowing her to break free from even the remnants of that whole kind of very tight discipline Jackson family
Hmm.
mold for the baby daughter. I think that she was complicit in that. And so
Hmm.
when you say like he's taping me too much, it's like, well, you know what? You liked it at first, didn't you? You were cool
Yeah.
with all the videos going, and that
Yeah.
now you're getting tired of it. Well, those videos going is what led to like some of I know Val's some of your favorite videos. You got to find out from the documentary weren't Janet's idea; they were Renee's idea. At least that's what
Exactly.
he said.
I love one of my favorite videos from the Rhythm Nation 1814 is the one that Renee starred in, Come Back to Me. I love that video. It makes me want to go to Paris. It's beautifully shot.
Is that
I
wait,
love
wait,
that.
is that Antonio Sabato Jr. though? Ain't that
No,
Antonio
no, no, no,
Sabato
no.
Jr.?
That is
Is that Renee?
Renee is the
Is
love
that
acting as the love interest in
oh,
that
you
video.
sure? You sure on
Darren,
that?
help me out, Darren. Darren, help
I
me
thought
out.
I know Antonio is and Sabato Jr. is in one of those videos, isn't he?
Yes, but I think he's in the love will never
Oh,
do
he's in love
without
with
you.
no do without you.
Yeah,
Okay, all
along
right,
with
okay.
a very unknown Yaman Hunsu. Yes, so but yeah,
Yeah,
so
she had
we
Gary
are
Doherty
fans.
Jordan in the video. She did have her leading man, didn't she?
But Renee
She did
T
do
is
that.
like Renee was also starstruck.
Well, of
Of
course he
course.
was. Of course he was.
Janet,
Anybody would be.
Janet.
Jermaine Dupri for all of his money. He means Janet Jackson. He's starstruck. Everybody's starstruck that meets her. I mean, in reality, if you like are really honest, there's only one person who is more famous than she is, and that we sought to see them right screen together in the hotel room. That was Renee's footage, and that's how valuable Renee's footage was in this
Yeah. I
documentary.
was very happy to see that. And she was kind of acting as, recording it. They had like a old school laptop and Michael was just talking and he wrote down his lyrics. And another thing she said that she noticed a distance even when they shot the video. They weren't in the same room. He would shoot things at night, she would come and do her part, so a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
things that was shot for that video. And I was thinking, oh, they came together and this is what I thought. Oh, they came together and she's helping him out because of the allegation. And
Mm-hmm.
and she mentioned that, Michael just wanted it to go away, but to me he looked guilty.
Okay.
All of us were thinking that.
Well,
So, but
speaking of people looking guilty and controversial subjects, let's move from this controversial subject to another documentary that I was just fascinated with. Could not stop watching and binge all 4 episodes, thus 4 hours of, and that was Happy Black History Month. Was we need to talk about Cosby
whoa, you
on
watched?
Showtime.
You watched?
I
Okay.
couldn't stop
You
watching
could
it.
you couldn't look away. It was just
I
like looking
could
at
not
a
look away at that train wreck. Wow. It
wow. What?
it it was illuminating. It was mesmerizing. You think you know everything about him and don't. They started dropping facts in that
Mhm.
documentary, and all of a sudden it's like I gotta watch this because I don't know what's coming next, which is amazing because we all know what happened, right? Or we all
Right.
think we know what happened, but
Mhm.
the way that W. Kamau Bell, who is a comedian, and I would guess in the same vein of Questlove, a filmmaker now, um,
Mhm.
the way he puts this story together about Bill Cosby is it, it's engaging. It really it sucks you in. You're like, wow, okay, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that either. I didn't know that. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm just gonna sit. I have to sit here and figure out what's next because I don't know what's coming next. But I know his story. I know everything. I thought I knew everything about him, and then all of a sudden I didn't. Um,
Yeah. And
you learn,
very
you
quickly
learn these
was
positive
was
things
that
about him. You learn all these positive things about Bill Cosby and the,
but
the
I
contributions he makes to entertainment, to popular culture, to African American culture, and
I
then it's like, oh, and he's a rapist.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say, and yeah, they said comedians, journalists, and Cosby survivors have a candid first kind of conversation about the man. And the one thing that I will say, I was aware of what he did. I love Alvin Ailey, as anyone knows, and I used to see them every year when I lived in New York for their performance. And I would open the program and go to the largest contributors for an Alvin Ailey, and it's Bill and Camille Cosby. I saw their names just as plain as day, contributing to, I want to say, decades of the work done with Alvin Ailey and Temple University. That's his alma mater. I was very aware of
I
a
know.
lot of the
He lives in the lot.
philanthropic, yeah, I know, philanthropic things that that Bill Cosby did. That's why it hurts like hell to hear about what he's done. I can't, and I have to, when I sometimes now watch the Cosby Show, I have to literally separate it and go, I am watching Heathcliff Huxtable. I am not watching Bill Cosby, because if I
But you
think
are.
about, but you are, but ultimately, yeah, you are.
I
And
understand that, and see, this is why I think I'll when you see it, I
mhm,
will be really interested in what you have to say and what your thoughts are about it when you do see it, because one of the points that they make, and I think they make it in a really brilliant way, is
mhm,
that Cosby set out to erase the line between Heathcliff Huxtable and Dr. William H. Cosby Jr. He set out deliberately to erase the separation between that character on that TV show and who he was in real life.
mhm,
It was deliberate and it was successful. And that's one of the reasons why lots of people still have trouble and they're still defending this man to this day, talking about he would go by NBC, or it's just a bunch of white women that accused him, or all of these nonsensical things that they do to try to defend Bill Cosby to this day. It's because
mhm.
Val, he erased that separation between that fictional character and that factual person.
Wow. And
And,
that's
and
amazing.
you
And
say you say you know thing. I can sit here and tell you. I can just pick one thing from that documentary that I guarantee you did not know about Bill Cosby, and they must have come up at least a half dozen things that he did that you have no idea that he did. I'll give you a since we all love film. I'll give you a film related one. How about that? So, one of the things that he was able to do in film. You ready? One of the things he was able to do in film, Val. He is the reason that there are black stunt people in movies. Is the reason that there are black stunt people in Speaking of stunt people, it seems like Valarie has done what some of the characters in one of the Superman movie did. They froze, and she has frozen. But I am cryogenically uh, unable to freeze because I'm just too hot, too hot to freeze. So let me tell you some of the things that we wanted to talk about in addition to the Cosby movie, which is documentary, which is available on Showtime. So you guys can check that out on Showtime. I'm going to skip to something that I wanted to bring up that has to do with sports, just briefly. And this is the reason why my NFL sports buzz got severely taken aback this week. Yeah. So this week, just when the NFL thought it was doing everything right, they had some of the most exciting games that we had ever seen in the playoffs. This same week, former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores, somebody who has done such a good job, had two winning seasons with the Dolphins, somebody I hope maybe the Bears were going to interview when they had a opening in their head coach position. Flores has filed a class action suit against the NFL and three teams, according to USA Today, that contends that his recent interview with the New York Giants, was nothing more, according here, than a move to satisfy the Rooney Rule, which now requires teams to interview at least two external minority candidates for all its head coaching vacancies. Now, if you think, well, how does he know? What's he talking about? Is this just another guy complaining about a job that he didn't get? Well, not exactly. So, Flores, uh, as part of his lawsuit, has submitted text messages that were allegedly sent to him by New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow. And in these texts, Belichick, whom Flores had worked for before going to Miami, so Belichick allegedly texts Flores in advance of him interviewing for the New York Football Giants job, and said that, hey, the Giants want to hire you, so congratulations, because it looks like it's going to happen. And Flores replies back like, hey, yeah, that's great because I really want this job. Now, here's the part that's messed up. Belichick, who was famously can't use social media, just a disaster at it, allegedly he apologizes to Flores, whom he says he had mistakenly texted Brian Flores, and he was trying to text Brian Dayball. Now, Brian Dayball hadn't gone through it yet. Flores, excuse me, hadn't interviewed yet. So Flores goes to interview with the team on Thursday. On Saturday, like a couple of days later, the Giants announced Dayball as their hire. And of course, Brian Dayball, you guessed it, is
Um, of color?
no, he's not. He's white. So
Oh,
what? So this in NFL right now, since Flores got fired, that's why he was interviewing for a job. He got fired after 2 winning seasons. Okay, there's that.
hmm.
Uh, he was fired. Houston Texans coach David Culley, old man Culley, was fired. We saw all that coming. That means that in the NFL, there are more than 30 teams in the NFL. Val, do you have an idea how many black head coaches there are in the NFL?
Two.
You think that there are two?
It's
Two.
gotta be. It's gotta be two.
You think there's got to be two African American head coaches? Well, you see that one there, this picture. That's Brian Flores. He's fired, so he's
He's
not one of
gone.
them.
So he's not one
And
of
I
them.
just told you the guy in Houston, he was one of them. He was also fired.
Uh, uh,
Two.
oh no. Okay. So what? One. Bryce Sound says one.
Correct. There is one, and that is good old Mike Tomlin. He's still in Pittsburgh, barely hanging on. Yeah, there is
Oh,
one. The answer is one. Mike Tomlin. So, Brian Flores, as I said, had 2 winning seasons, got fired from his job, goes to interview. They say, oh, good for you because you're about to get this job. Whoops, they got the Bryans mixed up. They meant to send the text to the white Brian, not the black Brian.
oh no. Oh my gosh. And that's what
So,
Lewis is saying, that that story is absolutely hilarious. Oh no. It
it's
went to the
lawsuit
wrong
worthy.
person?
Yeah. So that's how he knows that. So Val, this happened before he interviewed. So what he is contending, of course, is that the Giants knew that they were going to hire this guy. They interviewed him because they had to go through this like imaginary, uh, you know, interviewing black coaches thing before they could hire someone according to league rules. So his interview was just a show. There was nothing that was going to happen with it.
I'm gonna have to agree with T. Are we still doing this in the
We
NFL?
are. We're doing this in the N. The N for NFL stands for no Negroes in charge. Yes, it does. Sadly, and
Okay.
you do this. You do this. So you go from 3 coaches to one, and then one of the two that gets fired. This is what you do. You make
Yeah.
sure he doesn't get a job on purpose. So he is not only suing the NFL, he's also suing 3 teams involved, including the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants.
Yeah. See, this is heartbreaking. And I don't understand it.
Well, you
But
do
then
understand.
again, I do.
You
But
do
then again,
understand,
I
right?
do.
Because this is
I
the
do
same
understand.
league. This is the same league that had the Raiders head coach, John Gruden, in it for so many years, and all his friends who are also owners of other teams. It's the same. It's the same league. I mean, they can put whatever they want to on the field, product on the field, but when it comes down to the money and deciding who's in charge, who gets to run the show, it's gonna be the same folk.
That's not cool. That
Oh,
is so
that's a
not
good
cool.
point. Very good point. You said how many in the NBA? Let's not talk about MLB. We can talk about MLB. MLB has one of the things with the with Major League Baseball is that Major League Baseball has had both African American and other managers of color in it for a long
Okay.
time. Now, one of the things that's unique, and I was kind of reading and watching and getting a lot of information about this from different sources. This is not all just coming from me. Is that in the NBA you have coaches who are coaches of color who hadn't played, that didn't play the game and didn't play in the NBA. Not all of them, but there are a couple. Anybody that's ever coached in the NFL has been a former NFL player if you are black. Now, if you're white,
Wow.
you don't have to have coached. I mean, you don't have to have played as an NFL player to coach. In fact, the one of the coaches I know for sure, the coach of the LA Rams, was not a NFL player. He was just a coach, an assistant coach, and he rose through the ranks of coaching and became their head coach at a very early age. He's in his early 30s, same as Brian Flores was. So um, we need some brothers. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mark, but that ain't gonna
That's, a,
happen.
that's
There,
not gonna
there,
happen.
there are two gentlemen that they're two gentlemen that are already trying to lock down every billionaire they know to buy the Broncos. One of them is named John Elway, and the other one's Peyton Manning. So right now,
Wow.
those two gentlemen are working to make sure that they're part of whatever minority deal goes in to buy the Denver Broncos, who are for sale right now. That's why they mentioned it, Val. They're for sale,
Okay.
and their estimated value for the Broncos is about $4 billion.
Okay. And now we see that Bryce Sound says that the National Hockey League has one coach of color.
Okay,
Um, so a Calgary Flames assistant Paul
okay. So
Gerard.
assistant coach, good, good,
Okay.
good.
And
Yeah.
then Robert Smith are on the list for the
Oh,
Broncos.
Robert Smith is part of one of the deals. Okay, good. That's great.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, the faces of those two deals, two major deals, one of them is going to be John Elway, and the other one is Peyton Manning. Now they may come together for the same
Okay.
deal, but right now, the last thing I saw is that they were working with two different groups to purchase the Broncos, which is why very likely, and we can wrap up sports in this on this note, which is why it's very likely that Aaron Rodgers is going to Denver because you're going to
Okay.
have two groups of quarterbacks who both went to Denver and won Super Bowls with Denver, bidding on that team and trying to make sure that their $4 billion that they investment actually pays off. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Gardis. I mean, Gardis. Brian Flores would have been great with the Bears. I would have loved to have Brian Flores. I think we even mentioned
Mhm.
that a couple of weeks back.
We
But
did actually. I remember
I
that.
guess that's not. I mean, that wasn't going to happen because they weren't going to get him another job. He was on the way out. He was outside. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Right. Yeah. And
yeah.
there are a couple of great documentaries, last some documentaries about black coaches in the NFL. I mean, black quarterbacks in the NFL. So that's a whole nother thing. So that was another position where it's like, are they smart enough to do it? Yes. Yes, they are.
Yes they
Yes,
are.
they are. Yes, they are.
I want to jump to we're in 2022, right?
Yes. Yes, still.
It's February.
Whole month in.
Oh my did.
It
And
feels
I
like half a year. This January is felt like 6 months, but it's only been 1 month. Uh huh.
so were there some movies from exactly 20 years ago that you liked?
20 years ago. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I guess. We can look back on movies. Yeah, absolutely. There's one.
That
There's
was a big
one. a very funny movie. Very
Yeah, I know. And oh, Darren's counting down to the end of the year, 11
months to
months to
come.
go. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my, it's like that, huh? This has felt like 2022, the sequel. Woo!
But I love My Big Fat Greek Wedding because it was shot here in Chicago. I'm a
It,
huge fan of
it,
anything
it's
that's shot
funny
here.
movie, funny movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
Set in the neighborhood, Greek town,
Mhm.
place where I famously go used to go as a younger person there to get something to eat at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Go to the club. That's you go to Greek town, get something to eat.
And then
And then,
you
yeah,
I'm a
that's that too. I'm a Lee.
I'm a
Amelie,
lead.
one of my favorite foreign films ever. It's just beautiful. You don't even need subtitles with that movie. It moves so quickly. It shows you what's going on. It's funny. It's visual. It's wonderful. And it's something that anytime either one of these two are on, I will probably like linger on that station and watch some of that. So those
And
those are two for me.
now here's one from the chat. Darren put in the last film that Aaliyah starred in as the star, Queen of the Dam. I do remember that film, which I
Watch
thought
it.
was very,
Watch it.
yeah, that was weird for her to be in a role like that for me because I love Romeo Must Die. But yeah, I do remember that
Ah,
show.
Robbie almost died.
Yeah, and of course, rom-coms, but my favorite rom-com that
Yeah.
I'm gonna put up is the one shot in New York, Brown
So
Sugar. Oh my
brown sugar,
gosh.
babe. Get high
Yes.
off your love, don't know how to
Want some
behave.
of your brown sugar. I think I'm D'Angelo up in
I
here.
love
It's
that. I love
ridiculous.
that animation.
Wasn't
Oh,
that a bit?
yeah, that rendering in
Yeah.
the middle. That's so great.
I know, and I'm
Pluto Nash.
huge fan of Tay Diggs and Sanaa Lathan. I can you name the 4 films they've starred in together? It's a
Okay,
trivia question.
brown sugar is
Well, Brown
one.
Sugar is one of them, but what's the other 2? I wonder if you know.
I can name one. I can name one more right off the top of my head, which is naming two more.
Pluto
Right?
Nash.
I would say, yeah, I know, right? Little man. You know what? You know what? I'd have to watch that again. Maybe I, was too hasty in that. There's one. Good,
So
good. Yep.
so that's
And a
1,
holiday.
and Best Man Holiday, that's 3. Now, what is the 4th film that both Sanaa Lathan and uh, Tay Diggs have starred in? Hmm. Can you think about it? Came out before The Best Man, way before Brown Sugar, and the star of that situation, they were young and they were in Inglewood in California. I see Darren has got it. The Wood.
The woods.
He said the woods. I don't think it was.
Yeah, yeah. The wood, right? The wood, right? Because it's the wood for Inglewood, right? That was the name of it, wasn't it, Val?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and which is pretty much the blueprint for Tyler Perry's bruh. He just pretty much took the wood and put it into episodes and made it even more ridiculous.
I haven't seen that. How is bruh?
I have not seen bruh, but I stumbled upon the first couple episodes. Now it's in whatever season it is of Sisters. I think that's what it
Oh
is.
yeah.
But I don't. We don't need to spend any time on that at all. Tomorrow, what I do want to talk about, I want to talk about for WW1 is it. We'll talk about wine because there are a bunch of shows
Oh.
out right now that are wine and wine related that also
Mhm.
have to do with African Americans, and some of them are really interesting. really interesting. And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that as we get ready to count down to the drop.
Yes. So what's been happening, guys, on our Facebook in our Facebook group, we have it's Wamble time. It's Wamble hashtag Wamble Wednesdays, and we're tomorrow. Starting in February, we're now in February. We will be streaming to YouTube, so you can check it on out. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. I have to see what Lewis is saying in the chat. He says that please don't. Unfortunately, Tyler is hurting with his material. I
I
hate
mean, you
that.
know, I, in one way, yes. Another way, it's pretty. I guess it's inspiring. Could be taken as inspiring because some of the things I see that he has been able to put out, I'm like, dude, I could do that. Look,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
give me some actors. I can do that. Give me an actor in 2 weeks, and I can do a show too. This is awesome. Everybody should be able to do a show because oh my, just woo, woo,
Yeah, so
Lord.
somebody's giving you a big up. Womble in the building. I don't know who that is. Who is that?
I don't know either, but but maybe best not to know. You know what I mean?
Oh, and also Mark remembered on in
John
2002 John
Q.
Q came out. Yeah, that was a Denzel Washington and also Anton Fisher.
Yeah.
You didn't like that film. You made a face. You
No,
made the
no,
face.
no, but even worse than that, there's been talk about I don't know if you've heard this, but there's been talk
Mhm.
about doing a remake. Have you heard that?
For Anton Fisher?
For John Q.
No, we don't need it.
Yeah, really,
No.
yes. I'm
No,
not
we
sure
don't.
why.
No. No, we don't need
But
that. No.
yeah, lack of
No.
ideas.
No. No.
Lack
We
of
just
ideas
write
out
something
there.
else. Screenwriters,
Anything.
filmmakers. Please write
No,
something
let's
else.
do a new John Q and we'll
No.
have someone else starring it who's young and not Denzel.
We
Okay.
no,
Yes,
we
so
I'm going to ask on behalf of the viewing public. We can do sequels of and other new versions of Marvel and DC situations, but other than that, original ideas, please. Please.
woo,
I need original ideas, please. Yeah, and then what T says, let the remakes alone. Oh, leave them alone. Leave the
please. What is the point of that?
Oh, and so I wanted to make sure that I did this because it is February is Black History Month. Put your fist in the air. And we're going to honor this young lady for today.
Mustang,
Um, who is that,
Mustang
Michael?
Love. That's
Mm-hmm.
Carol Mae Jemison,
Mm-hmm.
class of 1973, Morgan
Mm.
Park High School, South
Oh,
Side of Chicago.
Southside.
Born in Alabama, but raised in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and then sent into outer space. First
Right.
African American woman to actually be in space, inspired by the first African American woman on TV to pretend to be in space, Nichelle Nichols. When she was growing up, Mae Jemison said she was interested in science, always was, wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
an astronaut, looked around, tried to find, people who were interested in what she was, and luckily there was a show on TV called Star Trek.
Star Trek. Do do.
Yeah, there we go. Live
Yeah. So
long and prosper.
live long
So
and prosper. I can't
so
quite get it like that. Okay, there.
so she found that person to be a role model, at least for her, on television. Thank God for television, right?
Mm-hmm.
And pursued a career and went to space, returned back here, and has been doing great things on Earth ever since. So she is a founder of an organization that is STEM focused and
Excellent.
inspiring people to pursue their dreams of space travel and promoting science. So all those good things, and that's Mae Jemison. And very short, very quickly, Val, do you know how it is that Mae Jemison got to see Nichelle Nichols? Have we talked about this wonderful story before? I can give you the short version of it.
Give me the short version. What you got?
Very, very short version. So
Mm-hmm.
Nichelle Nichols is on this show called Star Trek, as
Mm-hmm.
the story goes, and she's in there for the first season. She gets a role to star in a show on Broadway. She goes to Gene Roddenberry, who was the creator of Star Trek, tells him, "Hey, I got to lead the show. I got this opportunity to star in this show. This is going to be huge for my career. I'm sorry, but I have to leave." Gene Roddenberry says to her, "You don't understand the impact that you make being on television in outer space and what this means." And she's like, "Look, I got to do what's best for my career." So this is in the 60s. She goes to this event, this banquet, and the guest speaker at this banquet is a guy, this Reverend civil rights leader from the South named Martin Luther King Jr.
Ah.
After the event, he comes up to, as the story goes, to Nichelle Nichols and says to her, "Look, I gotta tell you, uh, we watch Star Trek in my house. My girls watch you on TV, and I heard from Mr. Roddenberry you're thinking about leaving. You can't do that. You make too much of an impact for us as a people on this show,
Mhm.
and you just don't understand it." And King, we learned, was a Star Trek fan and told her, "You got to stay on the show." And it's Martin Luther King Jr. who convinces Nichelle Nichols to stay on Star Trek. Of course, she is Lieutenant Uhuru, a role that has opened doors for her ever since, and a defining role in her career and inspiration for the first African American female astronaut. Boom.
Boom.
That's your story.
Mic drop, mic drop. And Darren is saying, wow.
So when we say things in 2022 that representation matters, representation matters.
Really, it really does. It really, really does. So because of that, we have astronaut Jameson.
And the other astronauts who have followed in her footsteps, the other
Hmm.
black female astronauts, plural, who have followed in her footsteps, weightless footsteps, right?
Right. So if you're dreaming of becoming an astronaut or dreaming of becoming anything, you need to have some direction on how to make that happen. I'm
What
grateful to
does
know.
it look like?
I don't know, but I know for one thing, our sponsor back in November, Coach Glass, she is going to be our guest on the audio podcast for tomorrow. Coach
Dropping.
Karen Glass. It's dropping tomorrow. So, like
Podcast
I said,
dropping.
you will see. Michael will be doing a preview of the of our situation on It's Wamble time. Hashtag Wamble Wednesdays. It's happening tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And
We'll
then
be
I
talking
will
about black people in wine.
that's gonna be
WB for
fun.
wine
He'll be
tomorrow.
he'll be he'll be talking about wine. But then
Yeah.
like I said, we're up past over
Woo!
124. We're at
Nice.
127, I think. So we're gonna just ask you
Awesome.
guys to go ahead and
We are.
please go ahead and subscribe and let other people know. I'll do this, close this out. T says representation does matter. It's unfortunate that we're still staying saying the first black anything in the 21st century, and that's
Well,
going to keep happening.
hopefully this time next year we won't have to say the first black woman on the Supreme Court because she'll already be there.
Exactly. And Mark says, let's not forget the sisters of Hidden Figures, a real story, and they were powerful too. Thank you, Mark.
Absolutely, Katherine
Mhm.
Johnson,
That's right.
building named after her, a NASA facility named after her, uh,
Hmm.
a human computer. That's what they call them. They call them computers because they were just as good as those big boxes in those large buildings that took up all the space.
I know, and it's absolutely fascinating, and that's living history, not necessarily Black history, just living history. So every day can be and will should be Black history. So we'll definitely highlight some
365.
more. Yeah, 365. Let's celebrate that. And what's your name, Michael?
My name is not Val the Voice Johnson, but your name is, and this has been Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesday with Valarie the Voice Johnson.
And executive producer Michael Wamble. We'll see you next
Cheers.
week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.